Listen up, all you artists everywhere. I got some. Oh. Can you hear me better? Had this on because we're talking about chemicals today, and we want to be safe, and we want you to be safe. So we're talking about chemicals in the stained glass area, and I'm telling you right now, this is serious business. So listen up. Well, here we are back in the studio, a little calmer, you know. We don't have the wild woman here. So, but I do want to talk about chemicals still. First of all, so we used to have a friend, and his favorite quote was, "Chemicals make our lives better." I don't know about that, but today we're going to talk about some chemicals that do make stained glass a little easier and better too. So we're going to talk about that. First thing is you're cutting your glass, okay? You cannot cut your glass without using some cutting oil. Let me tell you something. We used to use kerosene, and if anyone were to spill a little bit, the entire studio would just be awful. It would be toxic in here. And so we thought, what else can we do? You can use most any kind of oil while you're cutting. But we came up with our very own concoction of oils. David has put together a recipe for oil. We have an orange oil and a lavender oil. Both are great for cutting. And oh, I wish you could smell that. That smells so delicious. And if you get it on your hands, you just rub it in because it won't hurt you. So that's the kind of chemical that is awesome.
Now, you do want to make sure you don't use straight essential oil. This is mixed with a food-grade massage oil that cuts the stickiness so that your cutter won't get clogged up.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for that. All right, so then you get your window all cut out using your lovely orange or lavender oil. And then it's time to grind, and then time to foil, and then you need to come back and solder it all together. So to solder, you need flux. And the way that we use flux is to dip our cutter into the flux and then be able to solder at that time. So that's flux. This is what we use is a Denver flux. It is a light acid, and but don't get too scared because lemon juice is also a light acid. But if you happen to have a little cut on your finger, then this might sting. So have a sink with water nearby so that you can take care of that and wash up. And you should also be washing up your hands while you're doing stained glass all the time anyway, especially when you're finished. Don't forget. Okay, so after everything is soldered, and then it's time to clean your window. You won't believe how much time it takes to clean your window if you really do a good job. And some of the things that I use for that is, first of all, I will use some CJ's Flux Cleaner or Flux Remover. And as you can see, this bottle is well loved. So we put a little bit of that. And when I say a little bit, I am serious about that. Because you put a little bit, I say a dime's worth, not because it costs a dime, but because it's the size of a dime. And then I get my handy tool. I've shown you before in other videos how we use this big boy or just a regular brush, and you just get to brushing. And that really scrubs it. Now, the reason that you don't want too much is because, oh my goodness, yes, and you put water, thank you, my assistant, and so you and be generous with the water. You know, the water is okay, just put all over your window. And then you scrub it and make your suds. And oh boy, if you have too much of your CJs, you have so many suds. You won't be able to see the window. So, but even so, Suds are our friends, and it does get the window clean. So then you're going to wipe that down, and then we'll give it a nice little spray with a quick clean. Okay, and then wipe that down again. We're serious about trying to keep these windows clean. Even though at the end I've scrubbed and I look at it and think, did I even try? So we got to make sure that this window is clean. So the next thing you might think to yourself, do I want a silver patina, a copper patina, a black patina, or a bronze patina? This is the last decision you will make when you're making your window. So if you decide to keep your patina silver, then all you have to do is use some Neverdull. The Neverdull is in the cotton that is a part of, so the chemical is in the cotton. And that you just put all over the seams, all over your solder and your zinc, and just rub it on there. And then you get a rag and just buff that out and use your elbow grease, really buffing it out until it's all shiny and beautiful. Okay, what if you want a black patina? Well, then you get out your trusty black patina, and if you really wanted a dark black, I have it in this little thing that I can just kind of squirt some on at different places, kind of following the lines. And then take a rag. You know what I use? Just a little piece of rag, because if I use a whole towel, it kind of starts to disintegrate after you've used this for a while. So I just get a little piece because then I can just throw it away. Okay? But what if you want it to be bronze? Well, you still use the black patina, but you just put it on your rag and then just wipe it. It's like a wood stain for metal. Wipe on, wipe off. Okay? So that turns it a really pretty bronze.
By not putting very much on.
And that's the idea.
Because black patina, if you don't put very much on, it tries to go copper. And copper patina, if you don't put much on, tries to go black.
There you go.
So it's a learning process. You have to figure that out.
Play with it, experiment, you bet. There's also a copper patina, and that makes it a beautiful copper color when you polish it up. Okay, speaking of polishing, okay. So next you can respray with your quick clean. We want this puppy to be clean.
And that neutralizes the patina.
Okay.
So that it won't ooze out. So you want to spray it so that it's wet.
Awesome. Okay. And then when it's all nice and clean, and be sure to get in there, use a toothbrush, use a stick with your rag on top getting into all of the corners, and then you can give it a little bit of polish. Not very much, a little goes a long way. And then you just buff it and really make it shine and beautiful. And you're still going to have to get in those corners with your rag. It's, get your towel in there and really get in the corners. And sometimes this takes a while. So don't worry if you're going to be out here for a while when you're cleaning up your window.
And you want to hang on tight to the glass because now it's slick.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And I have had students, they're just wiping away, and it does slide away from them. And I said, oh, you don't want to lose that. And it scares them a little bit. So we also have window cleaner. This is what you can use later on down the road. If it gets dusty or something, you can always clean your window. Don't be afraid. And also sometimes on a window, I will use this powder cleanser on it to really get in there. And so these are our chemicals. So that's not too scary, right? You can do it in the comfort of your own studio. So what I would like for you to do is after you see all this and you go, Jeannie, I will not remember what goes when. What do I use first? Don't worry about it. Got your back. Because we're also going to put this information on our blog. And we will put pictures of all the labels. We will talk about each one. We will talk about the what comes first, what comes next. So don't even worry about it. Just relax, and you can go to the blog and get all of that information. Our blog is Glass on My Mind, which happens to spell Gomm. Is that so cute? Glass on My You might get some more information that you don't even get here. Awesome. Bonus. So be sure to go there. Also, if this has been helpful to you, then go to some of our other videos that we have on our channel, and be sure to follow us. That would be great. We put up some interesting things once in a while, and you might just hit on something you didn't know before. So, and we'd love to have you comment. It's always nice to hear from you because you're our glass friends. And remember, you need to invite the light into your home, into your studio, into your heart. And with that, you can have a creative day. So thank you for listening, and happy chemicals.